Good morning, everybody. It's Trudy here, and I want to talk to you about this whole business of living with all these anxious thoughts and uncertainty during a pandemic. It's hard for everybody, and it's particularly hard for those of us who have a serious illness, who are living with compromised immune systems, who have to go to the hospital for treatment, or who are 70 and over. Who would have known? But 70 and over is considered to be very, very vulnerable as well. So let's talk about it. It's certainly natural to feel anxious for ourselves and others. How could it not be? Our whole life has been turned upside down. But there are ways that we can cope. I'm going to just talk about 3 of them today, but there are many different ways. So I want you to be encouraged to know that you're not going to just stuck in this paralyzing, anxious state until we've got a vaccine. So what can we do? Well, we can start with using our attention. So if you think about what happens when we pay attention to only the things that are going wrong, to all of our disappointments, all of our fears, all of our hurts and sorrows, and all of the plans that did not come to fruition because of the pandemic, we're going to be pretty miserable and anxious at the end of the day. When we think about all the what ifs, even death and dying, you know what? It's not very good. We're not going to be at ease with our day. But we can take this flashlight out of our pocket, our flashlight of attention, and we can actually shine it around our life into all kinds of different corners, indoors and outdoors, inside and outside. And we can take a look at the things that are going right. We can take a look at the things that are helpful, the people who love us and whom we love, the ways that we're being helped, all those medical professionals that are working night and day on our behalf. When we take a walk during the day, we can even shine the flashlight of our attention up into a tree when we hear a bird sound, and we can stop and listen to that beautiful bird cheering us on. We can notice a crack in the pavement and see one little tiny shoot popping up, or look at the trees that are starting to leaf out, little buds and leaves every place. All these hopeful signs of spring that are coming. We can attend to this as well. And another thing that we can attend to is what's controllable and what's not. So when we take a look at the things that are out of control, like a pandemic, our very best bet for handling this is really to accept it. Why? Because there's nothing we can do about it. But it's an active acceptance, because there are things we can do that will help us with the uncontrollable, things that we can influence. So what are those things? Well, right away, there is obviously the compliance that we can bring to all of the health advisories from our medical professionals, public health professionals, and scientists. We can do the hand washing, the wearing of the masks when we go to the store, the physical distancing. And we do those things not just for ourselves, but we're doing those for others as well, to protect the people in our community. And do you know that during difficult times when everything is going wrong, there's lots of evidence to point out that one of the things that helps us the most during difficulties is when we do things for others. So we actually are benefiting ourselves when we think about, what can I do here? What can I turn my attention to? Who needs to be called? Who's living alone that I know and might need a little cheering up? What can I do? Can I write a note? Can I write a card? Can I make a pan of muffins and put them in little bags and distribute it to a few of my neighbors? Could be like a childhood game, right? It's taking action. We put them in a bag, put them in a bigger bag, hang them on the door knob, ring the bell, run away. And from the sidewalk, the safety of the sidewalk, we wave when they come out, and we surprise them with a little afternoon treat. these are tiny things, but honestly, it's the tiny things that count. And it's the tiny things that we can do that can help us coexist with the anxiety. One of the things about our anxiety is we can ask ourselves, is what I'm most worried about right now really happening? Well, in most cases, it's not. And that's when we can shift our attention again to doing some of the things I mentioned. Getting a walk outside is really important. So, a third thing I want to talk about is really taking action to create a little routine for yourself. Because if we just slide into the day with not really bothering to get dressed or have a plan, we're going to feel lousy at the end of the day. But if we make a plan for ourselves, we really up the chances of improving the quality of that day. We set an alarm, we wake up, make our bed, get showered, have breakfast, and create a little plan, maybe 3 things for the day. Something important for you that you've been wanting to do. Perhaps you've had something in your life that you've thought, ooh, if only I had time, I would do that. Learn a musical instrument, write, organize your closet, right? Organize your garage. There's all kinds of things that we can do. Get your taxes done. Well, that's I wouldn't choose that really. May have to be done, but not today. You know what? These are things that are important. And always, always pick little joyful things for your day, right? Find things that are going to spark joy in your life. And it could be a person you talk to. It could be something you read. It could be something beautiful that you look at. It's something that you do. If you're an artist, you're painting, you're drawing. So find ways to create joy for yourself, even when you sit down for dinner and even if you live alone. Use your best dishes, create a beautiful meal, and enjoy that meal. So the big thing is that you don't want to put your life on hold. And that is the temptation when we're coexisting with anxiety, when we're already restricted in so many ways. It's it's easy to just kind of slide through our life. So don't do that. Do your very best to have a plan. People with a purpose do better when they have an illness, and they do better when they're going through a pandemic. So find little purposes for yourself and take action to do that. And do your best to stay healthy. I wish you good luck, and don't put your life on hold. Thanks for listening. Bye.